I said Governor hasn't changed much.
Please.
I'm following you.
Can the governors join, please?
Okay, thank you very much. Good.
This morning I was remembering how I was visit to Singapore.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, I hope you're writing something for that.
Thank you.
I wrote a little bit.
A little bit, okay.
You remember when
Shall we go to the boardroom?
Excuse? Yeah, good.
How are you? I'm here. Yes.
We have here governors from the region. Governor James Orengo from Shire, Governor Sim, Governor Wanga from Homo Bay, Rose Buyu is the women rep from County. That is too much. You played that role for a long time. And then we have Joaga you've met.
Yes, we met.
Yes. My Minister for Urban Development, Jerome Chen, the Permanent Secretary. Can you introduce yourself now?
Honorable Lawino Fan.
Doing young, majority wave Congress.
Benjamin Wagera, CCS Oscar, Judy Kabot.
Mwale Medical Technology City Minister.
Ambassador Dr. Josephine Ojambo, Your Excellency, Right Honorable, Global Ambassador for FESTAC.
The first lady, sorry. You wanted me to introduce you?
No.
The part of our host actually.
Yes.
thank you. First, thank you. Second, comment. And thanking you, I will also want to thank my brother. Who gave me no choice and called me way before yesterday. I said, you can be here. And I had to drop everything to be here. And thank you for receiving us. Thank you for allowing the first time and the support you have given much. I had to post I am particularly happy about not allowing it to die. Because I was the host in 1977. And to bring a nice sense of it is good for all of us of the black race. I remember we had from Australia, even from North America, not Africans in diaspora, but Native American. But then I say I'm commending you, not only for the results of FESTAC that for making Kisumu the cleanest city.
In the national anthem, I'll give
Welcome to the National Fund for the Disabled of Kenya, an endowment fund established way back in 1980 for the benefit of persons with disabilities in Kenya. And while at it, welcome to the booth that is hosting all the OPDs of the organizations of people with disabilities. You'll get to interact with the talent that is persons with disabilities in Kenya. And so basically our fund are there to fund special schools because we realize there is a problem with infrastructure. And so we get to where children with disabilities are, and we create a learning environment that has dignity, that has enough facilities that these children can experience learning. And so our work basically is to empower these schools so that children in those schools can learn with dignity. And here in Kisumu we have keepers, we have other institutions, we have beautiful dormitories, classrooms, dining halls, so that at the end of the day that learner with disability can experience learning just like any other person. And on my right we have the Bodo Disabled Center. They do craft, they do agriculture, all making sure that in that school there is food security. We also have St. Martin de Porres Special School, and so I invite you to the other booths where you will interact with many organizations. Thank you so much.
Welcome. This is Kenya Society for the Blind. It's an organization that was established in 1956 through an act of parliament. So our work is prevention of avoidable blindness and its alleviation. Here we have devices of low vision where learners who are assessed get devices so that they can learn if they need spectacles or magnifying glasses. Then in education we have all devices from Whitekins for those who are totally blind. We have sound balls so that children can play from when they are little. So the ball has sound and they can play football just like any other kids. We have all types of devices so that as they go up the ranks of schools, they can also use devices that have braille but can be put on a flash disk, produce the same information in print, because braille paper and books are very bulky for the learners. So we are digitalizing the education of learners with visual impairment through this kind of initiative. We also have a band called Gusanapsi. It's performing here where we train music and make sure that these talents that come from Kibos and other schools are nurtured and they can also use them to earn a living. So all these are range of devices. My team can take you through some. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. This is Association for the Physically Disabled.
Thank you.
We are an organization.
Thank you. Watembee, please.
Kaza kidogo. Let's move. Let's move.
That's right.
Twendeni.
maybe the upstanding as our chief guest joins us. Thank you very much. As our Igbo dancers all the way from Burundi proceed to welcome the entourage. drummers. A big round of applause for their wonderful welcome. Thank you, Burundi dancers. Thank you. Thank you, Burundi drummers. Thank you. May we all be upstanding for the official start of we shall have the national anthem of the Republic of Kenya, to be followed by the East African Community Anthem, and these anthems will be performed by Kibos School for the Blind and Zaverian Comprehensive School, led by George Chunga and Mr. Joseph Osumba. National anthem. All unofficial headgear, respectfully, I request you to remove. May we be seated. The last item was a prayer in form of a song, and it was performed by Kisumu Multi-Talent Academy. May we accord them a round of applause as they exit the stage. Thank you, our teachers, for the good work you're doing with these wonderful young Kenyans who are abled differently. Let's accord them a better round of applause. Our chief guest, Your Excellency Engineer Dr. Raila Amolo Odinga, Your Excellency Dr. Olusegun Obasanjo, former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency Professor Peter Anyang' Nyong'o, Governor of Kisumu County, Your Excellency Dorothy Nyong'o, the First Lady of Kisumu County, Your Excellency James Agre Orengo, the Governor of Siaya County, Your Excellency Honorable Gladys Wanga, the Governor of Homa Bay County, Your Excellency Paul Simba Arati, the Governor of Kisii County, Deputy Governor Kisumu County, Dr. Matthew Owili, Members of Parliament present, led by the Kisumu Central Member of Parliament, Dr. Oron, Dr. James Nikal, the Member of Parliament for Seme, Honorable Rosa Buyu, the Member of Parliament for Kisumu West, the Speaker, Kisumu City County Assembly, Honorable Elisha Oraro, all members of county assemblies represented here, members of the diplomatic corps, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, sir, if I may quote a renowned African scholar and writer, Chinua Achebe, who asserted that a man does not call his relatives for a feast because they don't have food in their own homes. Neither does he call them for a gathering under the moonlight because they cannot see the moon in their own compounds. But he calls them together because it is good for kinsmen to come together. It is thus good for us to come together today It is thus good for us to come together so that we may celebrate our diversity, our culture, and the spirit of Pan-Africanism in us in the form of FESTAC 2024. Please tell your neighbor, FESTAC 2024 is happening. And guess what? Just tell them, and guess what? All the way from Nigeria, Oga Obasanjo is here. We thank you, Your Excellency, and we celebrate you. Let's appreciate Dr. Obasanjo. Thank you so much for the good work you've done for this country. Without much ado, there is a very good friend of mine that I did forget, and my apologies. Her Excellency, the First Lady Governor in the Republic of Kenya, who is now the Women Rep of Kisumu County, Honorable Ruth Odinga. Thank you very much. Allow me to invite a man who has flown the Kenyan flag high to introduce the theme of FESTAC 2024. This man has represented this nation in the United States of America, particularly by the brand Jabali Africa. His real name is Ashikoe. He hails not very far from Kisumu County. Jabali, welcome, sir, to bring us the theme of FESTAC 2024.
Thank you very much, my brother. Mdomo Bagi. FESTAC untie! FESTAC untie! One more time, before we start, we have house rules. And the first house rule, you cannot come to the microphone without shaking something. And I'm gonna call upon, hey DJ, do you have some music? I'm gonna call upon the chairman, so that he can show you how he's supposed to do it when you're coming to the microphone. All right? And also, you have to realize we got two Baba. And this is how it goes. We got Baba and we got Baba. Do you hear the difference? We got who? And I didn't hear the difference. Baba and there is who? Baba. All right. So without further ado, play me something so I can call upon, so that the chairman and the CEO of FESTAC, Yinka, Abioye, and Grace Mumo, show them what we're going to be doing here. Welcome, Zeke. Thank you. So, we have a very diverse artist in this county of Kisumu today for FESTAC. First of all, I'm going to introduce, when we come into the house of Ramogi, we got to come the right way. And when we start coming the right way, edges Ages Kenya from Kisumu. We gotta come in the right way. So we're bringing on Ages. This is a group from Kisumu, and then from there we're gonna go to Bamasaba cultural dance troupe from Uganda. We have Artisana from Kenya. We have the Burundi drummers that you saw welcoming the delegation here. We have Princess Agua Fo from Cameroon. Also, not forgetting, we got Trinidad and Tobago. We got India in the house. We got a lot of Africans in the diaspora who are represented here. So it's a Pan-African festival, and right about now I'm calling upon the Ages group. FESTAC 2024. One more time, let's hear it for ages. Come on. Let's hear it for ages. Thank you very much, ages. And next after ages. Thank you very much, ages. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. One more time, let's hear it for ages. And next on stage, we're bringing you Kifumu from Congo DRC. Kifumu, are you guys ready? Are you guys ready?
Kenya, Kisumu, habari. Kifumu from Congo. Tunasema jambo.
Unapochapa nyoka usimwekee miguu asija kageuke nyoka mtu. Chuma hawezi mshauri nyingo, ila dawa ya kivimba ni kuipasua. Hata katika watu waisha unaebao iko maisha, sababu gani kuna pesa maisha, ikapo mali letu ni suluhisho. Ukiona umoja wa mataifa ukaona washinda ukoloni, sababu mali kupora wanapora, kisha tunalipa vita vita. Ukiuliza mazuri wametenda, ulimeza tunaleta amani. Ukiuona tunaleta uhuru, unaeaka leta huruma. Mzunga nalia, umane nalia, mzunga nalia, umane nalia, mzunga nalia, umane nalia. Sipeni apunda miteko mtoto wa mama. Kama wandugu leo tunaungana, mpaka yeye hata furahi, hata shawishi vikundi vya silaha, ende unayotende piga magoti. Wanasema tunawachapa, wakuletea haki za binadamu. Sijui kama sisi Wajerumani hatuna haki kuliko wanadamu. Yapo wahuni wa jeshi la Ulaya, ila kukicha tunafanya wanacheka. Manya nalia, wanacheka. Manya nalia, wanasema sijaribu mkuki ni mtamu kwa mwenyewe, ila kwa binadamu hata Mungu suka mtoto wa Kongo wafanana maisha ya kipekee, sababu kama wapenda watambazi hakikatishwa tafariki na njaa, mara mawazo ya kukosa umeme, maji safi, masomo na barabara. Raisi wetu hatuna huruma, upore mali na mulete amani. Kazani leo singefanya orodha ya vifo vipatia na ukimbizi. Eni Ruchuru na sisi Waitale washuhudie kama wana imani. Kwa nini mumefanya sana kelele wakati shida zinatushikile? Mzungu analia, mane analia, mzungu analia, mane analia. Nayafundisha kula Mungu wangu wako wamenani mvunja pesa hana rafiki. wanacheza, usifikiri kwamba niko karaha. Wacha sisi watenda kwani mateso yalivamia mpaka ninaumia. Waona kama sisi ni wanadamu, hatupewe haki kama wanadamu. Wala siasa ya yumba kama gari, dereva mkuu ukijaribu ipeleka kuume, uvukie aipeleka kushoto. Shauri kwetu sisi Wajerumani, tujueni tutapata uhuru. Haki yetu ile baraka ya Kongo, dhamiri ile mwanzo wa maarifa. Na mfunga kania Mandelalia, ya mfunga kania Mandelalia, ya tusiku hadione. Mungu wangu, pesa kunywa sumu. Wema wa nyoka anayejua mishoni. Dunia haina huruma. Kaburi hachoki. Wakongomani, usichoke kutafuta amani. Oh, Afrika.
Show some love for Congo, come on. Congo DRC. Coming back on stage will be the Burundi drummers, all the way from Burundi. Anglophone. celebration of culture. From the root to the fruit. Right about now, asanteni, merci beaucoup, asante sana. One more time, let's hear it for Burundi drummers. One more time for Burundi drummers. One more time for Burundi drummers. Now we're gonna go all the way to West Africa. We're going all the way to West Africa. In a country called Cameroon. We're heading now to West Africa. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. What's on that? Asanteni sana. Thank you very much, Burundi. To West Africa. We're going to West Africa in a country called Cameroon on the northwest region. This queen of Cameroon goes by the name of Anguafo. Anguafo is from northwest Cameroon and he plays a kind of music called Nja. 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 Africa.
Salut, bienvenue à tout le monde. I'm happy to have you here. I'm glad to be on this stage. Your Excellency, you're all welcome. Enjoy the reading from Cameroon, Jean. Dance with me if you feel as to dance. I'm doing a song, Unity for Africa. God bless you.
So right about now, first of all, we're very grateful for the county of Kisumu for bringing back the biggest festival, the biggest Pan-African festival on the continent back to Kisumu, Ghana. There's a man that has worked tirelessly to bring back this Pan-African gem. This man is an engineer like Baba. He's an engineer like who? And he comes from the land of Baba. He comes from the land of who? Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to allow me to introduce a man that has been burning the midnight oil. I've seen that man run all over the country for almost a whole year, going back and forth, taking meetings. This man, he's so rebonded because of the Pan-African agenda. And I told him, Baba and Baba, all of them are Pan-Africanists. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the chairman of FESTAC Africa, Yinka Abioye. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let me hear it. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. One more time. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a long road to be where we are today. But I am so happy. I'm so grateful to His Excellency, Governor Peter Anyang Young, for his vision. And I'm going to get into how we get to talk about it, how he actually beats me up every day to make sure this thing is a success of where we are today. For people that don't know me, my name is Yinka Abioye, and I'm the chairman of the FESTAC Africa Festival. As I was talking into the room earlier, I felt everybody understood and knew what FESTAC was about. So when I spoke in the room earlier, I didn't go into too much details. But I was asked that we don't want anyone to walk away from here not understanding the message of a new Africa, which is why we name it now FESTAC Africa Renaissance, taking it from where Baba started it and to where
Baba is going to continue the Africa Renaissance. Give a hand, please. So, FESTAC was designed as a tool to bring all of us together through arts and culture. I'm a Yoruba man, and in the Yoruba land, I can't say an history of something in front of the person that was part of the history. So, Baba, forgive me. I'm going to say a little bit. Maybe later you can say more. Festival started in 1966. For whatever reason, on all the problems of the continent in the 60s, all the way to the 70s, we were not able to do the second one until 1977 in Nigeria. Who was pronounced not other than Baba Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. I still remember 1977 when I was glued to my little Sony television watching him speak in Lagos, Nigeria, on what FESTAC stood for. 77 was a rebirth of Pan-Africanism. Unfortunately, the festival died again for 45 years. Post-COVID, we said, I'm an engineer, so I don't like to talk about engineering. So if you find an engineer in the culture space, sometimes it's nice to be lost into places that is new for you. The Renaissance of Africa, to me, means we need to develop our arts and culture. If you don't know where you are coming from, you will never reach or know where you need to go. We brought the festival back in 2022 in Zanzibar. 2023 was in Arusha. During 2023, our excellent governor sent a troop to Arusha. On getting there, I got to know more about the governor and his passion for culture. We got together in selecting the next place to go. Kisumu came very high on the list of places. Number one, the governor. I mean, we walked into his door on that day. The welcome was strong, straight, friendly. We very much appreciate it. Secondly, the Lake Region Economic Bloc area is an area of bedrock of culture in Kenya. I have traveled the block all the way to Homa Bay, all the way to Bungoma, all the other counties going through, and I've seen the value of what we have here. Sometimes as people, we also don't know the value of what we have at our house until somebody brings it to us to bring it up. So when we design the festival, there are certain things we are trying to add more to what our fathers did in 77 and 66. Number one, we are promoting inter-Africa travel and tourism. Most of us don't even know what Tanzania looked like, and we talk about Tanzania on paper rather than getting to visit the country, and vice versa. So travel and tourism is a big part of the new Africa. The second thing is intra-Africa trade. If we don't work together, if we don't travel one another environment, we can never trade, because I don't know what the other has or does not have. Okay, that is significant. Number three, we imputed the children into the program. And so as the week goes on, you will see a lot of children programs going on. Number one, STEM education, to make sure our children are educated and continue to grow. Number two, sports. Our kids like sports. It's a builder, that's why you see a lot of that. And number three, movies. Our children love movies. It's a good tool to capture them and teach them Pan-Africanism and the new Africa. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a week of discovering Africa as a whole. There are a lot of conferences planned. The conferences are meant for us to talk about issues in our lives, gain friends, contact people, and be able to improve from there. But every day from about 10 to 6 p.m. today until Friday, there will be a lot of performances on this stage, cultural performances, music, art, dance, fashion show on Thursday night. And there are other side events that we put together to make sure we capture everybody being here in the week and getting to know what Africa is all about. If I'm given a chance to stand on the stage, I can talk to you tomorrow on FESTAC because it's a passion. And it's a new time for Africa to rebirth itself, which is the Africa Renaissance. That is why we are so lucky to have the two Babas in the room. Baba that started in 74, and Baba that is saying, let's make the continent go forward. It is important because for us to be able to lead our continent, we have to have our own self-confidence and know where we are and where we are going. And we are there to show the world it's a new Africa, because as you go around the world, you see our children leading organizations all over the world. Why can't they do that at home and bring up the continent? All right, so that's the message. Before I close, I want to invite 3 people just to make some comments on relevance to what I'm talking about, and then we will close and move on with the program. The first person I want to call on stage is Mr. Patrick Obath. Actually, Engineer Patrick Obath. He also doesn't like to be called engineer. But please play some music for him because I want to see him dance. I've never seen him dance before. Give me some music. DJ, come on, don't let him get away. Don't let him get away. Thank you very much. I'm presenting Engineer Patrick Obath. He's one of our board members and a director in FESTAC. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairman. I stand on the protocols. Our chief guest, Your Excellency, Right Honorable Raila Odinga, our special guest, Dr. Obasanjo, visiting governors, but that this event brings in. Yes, we have culture, we have arts, we have sports, but those are the key things that are going to allow our Gen Alpha, Gen Z, and so forth to now begin to earn money in this world. Leisure is becoming the next big industry, and FESTAC is promoting those particular areas. And the county of Kisumu and all the surrounding counties in the Lake Region Economic Base Block, plus all the other countries that are present here, must see FESTAC as an opportunity to promote cultural businesses, to promote the sports business, and also promote tourism. And I'm hoping that a lot of the people coming here will be able to visit the various attractions that there are within Nyanza County, within the county of Kisumu, county of Kakamega, county of Homa Bay, and the counties of Busia, and all the counties around here. I could actually name almost 7 unique places in each of those counties. But how many of us even in Kenya know that? So mine is purely to urge, let us see FESTAC as an opportunity to attract cultural, sports, and other types of investments into our counties. And let us mix with the business people who are coming here from different parts of the world and make sure that they see something to invest in this country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Engineer Obath. Before I bring my second speaker on, I'd like to recognize somebody in the house, Mama Professor Ojiambo. If she can just stand up. I met Mama maybe a month or 2 ago, and Mama graciously informed me that, please sit down, that she was the lead of the Kenyan contingent to Nigeria in 1977. Anyone, give Mama a big hand, please. You know, when you meet anyone that participated in anything 77, when you say it to them, they all get goosebumps. I remember when I went to Baba Obasanjo's house in Nigeria, in Abeokuta, and when I started talking about FESTAC, Baba said, you little boy, you want to get involved in this thing? This thing is bigger than you. I said, Baba, I know, but this thing has to come back because it's time for it to come back. So anyone that has the passion for it is a believer and is pushing it forward. In the interest of time, I'm going to invite one of my best friends here who was not born in Africa, but have the Pan-African in his heart, because he understands, he's been around the continent, he knows what is going on, and he's done a lot of investment on the continent. I bring on stage DJ. kill something very, because he also doesn't dance. So I want to see him dance. Dr. Fazam Kamal.
Blessings from heaven descend upon Africa. The citizens of Kisumu, the denizens of Kenya, the peoples of Africa, this is the best day. God has his eyes upon the mother continent of Africa. God has decided that the trajectory of the rise of Africa will become like this. Only vertical, only transcendence, ascendance, and in a very short time. No more Vision 2063, too far, too little. But in 1 decade, the entire continent of Africa shall have risen to the level of the wealth of China, if not beyond. That Africa will surpass in wealth the Arab countries of the world. In fact, Africa is already the wealthiest nations and land and continent on the face of the planet. Who thinks in this point of view that it is Africa that subsists in the Pangaea area? You will put the map of the world together, and where is the heart? It is Africa. Each African nation, at least 21 of them, are 20 times, 50 times, 100 times richer than Saudi Arabia. Did you think that? Who knows that Africa, each continent, each country is already richer than Qatar, than Kuwait? Do you know that? Do you believe in that? Say a big yes. Do you know, I see here the youth, the children, the university, of course the leaders, our honorable leader, the honorable president from Nigeria. I met you in Washington, D.C. at Ravi Shankar's event. And I am here with a weighty message. I came here so that this message will go throughout Africa. That it is, you have everything. You need nothing. You don't need foreign aid. You don't need foreign direct investments. Domestic wealth generation will become the next decade goal and action and operations of all African leaders, of all African masses. You don't need to wait for anyone. Horizontally, you don't need IMF, World Bank, even African. Vertically, the people of the Africa, you don't need to wait for the government to give you a hand down. You are the creator, you are the source. You are not a kitty that needs meow, I want my milk. No, you are the lion. You go and get, and you build wealth, and you distribute wealth, and you export wealth. It is my duty that in 3 years, I will see 5 African nations and governments will issue official foreign debt issued by African nation outbound into Europe. Europe receives it. Game over. Whether it is Romania, Bulgaria, or Kosovo, Serbia, or even Italy, they need the wealth. You have been giving them for 500 years. Let's make it official, so that the mind will be warped. That means as soon as Africa has issued the first official debt outbound, the entire world will know Africa has risen. The entire African populations will know we are the source of the wealth. We have it, everything. And we are the ones who donate to the world outside, to Europe, Asia, and to the world. Again, the Future Trends Africa Manifesto, the collective peaceful rise of Africa, and I called it the surprise rise of Africa. Go and surprise the world. I'll add one sentence. It's very important because I am the person who raised the whole of China. When I went to China, China was the poorest nation. They were going as refugees to North Korea. The Chinese salary was only $30 the highest. In the airport of Hangzhou, I saw 20 chickens, 7 goats, and 50 people in dark. They did not have light. The city of Dalian had no light. They were lower than Africa, and they rose to $19 trillion. Your $3 trillion economy, the size of one Shanghai city. No, Africa will have $60 trillion economy in 10 years. Okay, this is the prophecy. Thank you. And action.
Thank you. Africa, the new Africa, the Africa we want, the Africa Renaissance is called self-confidence. One thing I want everybody to take out of this place, being called a Pan-Africanist is not a disease. It's called that self-assurance. So don't be ashamed to be a Pan-Africanist. Before I give the mic back to the MC, I'd like to recognize the CEO of the Lake Region Economic Bloc, Mr. Victor Nyagaya. Please stand up and wave. The bloc has been very supportive on the program. Don't sit down yet. Don't sit down yet. You have to move your shoulder. Give me a little music. I want to see you move his shoulder. Let's see you move. Aha, that's okay. I can see. It's okay. It's okay. I just want to make sure he dance too. Anyway, welcome to you all. Enjoy your week. We are here to take the continent into new heights. Asante sana. Thank you very much. Kisumu Dala.
I mean, let's appreciate Chair once more. Well done, Chair. We're going to move with speed, Your Excellency. Allow me to acknowledge the presence of the Chair of the Luo Council of Elders, Ker Odungi Randa. Thank you very much, sir. Allow me as well to acknowledge the presence of the County Commissioner, Kisumu County, Mr. Lord Morillo. Thank you very much for being here as well. May we affix our eyes on the screens. There are 3 videos that are going to play. The first one is from a daughter of Kisumu that we are very, very proud of as a country, as a continent, and as people in the creative industry. Please, all eyes on the screen. I am advised that there's a technical hitch with that. The English say you save the best for the last. You know her second name. It means that video has to play. If it does not play, ... Very well. The second video then, technician, I know you're ready with that.
I am the Deputy Commissioner and Chief of Staff in the New York City Mayor's Office for International Affairs. I am pleased to join you for the 5th World of Black and African Festival of Arts and Culture, FESTAC, in Kenya. On behalf of Mayor Eric Adams and our administration, we want to thank the organizers and leadership of FESTAC Africa. We also want to thank all the people who made this gathering possible. Finally, we want to thank the African Council in New York City for their efforts in introducing this event to us. We wish we could have been physically there with you. But as a proud African senior member of the Adams administration, I am still incredibly honored to be with you virtually. This event has a rich history of connecting the African continent since the 1960s. And we all know the power of arts, culture, and sports in bringing people together, especially our young people. Travel anywhere around the world and you will find the powerful impact of African and Black art and culture. And that's including right here in New York City. a global city that is home to a large and proud diaspora community of Africans. Travel from Manhattan to the Bronx, from Brooklyn to Queens and Staten Island, and you will find proud representations of African and Black culture and arts. And we must continue to celebrate our rich history and culture. We must cherish these precious creations and we must protect them. And we have to do it together. As the African proverb reminds us, to go far, we must go together. And that's why our administration's goal is to continue to strengthen the ties between New York City and the African continent, and that's including Kenya. We invite you to engage with us, to create with us, and build a new future with us. We wish you a wonderful experience at this event, and we hope to see you again soon. Thank you.
Your Excellency, that video came before the introduction. Allow me to mention this video is by Ms. Aissata Kamara, Deputy Commissioner and Chief of Staff, New York Mayor's Office for International Affairs. The second video that is going to play is by Miss Suzanne Palsy, a Hollywood actress from Martinique, and this particular lady opened the doors for Black actresses in Hollywood. Enjoy.
Hello, hello. I am Suzanne Palsy. Ladies and gentlemen, sisters and brothers, dear friends, I am sending this video as an apology since regretfully I can't be with you. I have an illness in my family. I know what I will be missing, but I also know that you will enjoy the 2024 edition of FESTAC and never forget it. Like you can see, I'm not alone. Some are watching over us very proudly, and others are sending us their blessings. A heartfelt thanks to the great team of the festival. I love you all.
Thank you for your patience and time. We shall be playing the first video a bit later when the technician is ready. Allow me then, at this point in time, as the next speakers come on stage, to invite Kibos School for the Blind, accompanied by the Kenya Society for the Blind Band, to come forward. Kindly, Mwalimu, and they are coming forward for a very short number as we invite Dr. Christina Pratt, Kenyatta National Fund for the Disabled of Kenya. Dr. Christina Kenyatta Pratt, my apologies, National Fund for the Disabled of Kenya, Chairperson. And we thank you, Daktari, for the great work that you're doing. This band is trained by 3 trainers, and we just want to thank you, Walimu, for the extra hours you put in to ensure that this talent is preserved and that this talent is at this very high level. May we appreciate these wonderful Kenyans. Thank you. Thank you very much. This was a special request by the chairperson. Karibuni sana. The stage is yours.
bring that.
Our honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, before you is Kibos VI Band, ready to entertain you with several tunes. Welcome and enjoy with us. And we greet you in the name of
Africa. Weka vitu. Tunatangaza tamaduni za Kiafrika.
Twatangaza tamaduni za Afrika. Twatangaza tamaduni za Afrika. Twatangaza tamaduni zenye heshima. Tamaduni za Afrika zina heshima. Weka vitu sasa, weka. Twatangaza tamaduni. Weka. Koma. Twatangaza. Wele. Nasalimu ndugu zetu wa Afrika.
May we accord them a round of applause, please. Makofi mazuri.
Zetu Afrika. Eka vitu.
Thank you for the wonderful performance. Thank you. So as the second team prepares, allow me now, in the interest of time, as the second team prepares. Are we ready? Okay, just give us a brief one, kindly. Thank you. Musa Nafsi Band, Kenya Society for the Blind. Allow me now to invite Dr. Christina Kenyatta Pratt, National Fund for the Disabled of Kenya, Chairperson, to make some remarks. Welcome, Daktari.
Lydia.
Sorry. Thank you.
Jua. Yeah. Simwambie aweke kando.
Oyuki Owino Watch. Wapi Eva. Wapi Aaron.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Excellencies, our guest of honor, Right Honorable His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga, special guest, His Excellency, former President of Nigeria, Dr. Obasanjo, our host, Governor of Kisumu County, together with Her Excellency, First Lady of Kisumu County, Excellencies, Governors present, distinguished guests from across the continent of Africa and beyond, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you. First, I wish to express my grateful thanks and appreciation to His Excellency, the Governor of Kisumu, Dr. Peter Anyang' Nyong'o, for hosting this wonderful festival that will showcase the talents during the entire part of this week, the talents and the skills across the African continent. Thank you, the organizers of FESTAC, because for the first time, the disability fraternity has been invited to take part in this festival. Thank you. You have seen the skills and the talents that our children and adults have across board. The children that you saw here dancing and singing from Kibos School for the Blind, the Kenya Society for the Blind, are just a small example of the talents which are there within the disability family. So therefore, thank you once again, FESTAC coordinators, for including us in this festival. It is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today at this remarkable festival in celebration of our continent's unity in diversity, which is rich in culture and arts. I stand here an advocate of disability inclusion as a special needs professional and my role as the chairperson of the National Fund for the Disabled of Kenya. We are gathered here today as a global community where we have more than 1.3 billion persons with disability worldwide, according to World Health Organization. This is approximately 15% of the world population. With that in mind, allow me to address this matter of profound importance, one that aligns with the spirit of this festival. The inclusion of persons with disability in our culture, technological, agricultural, gender, and artistic spheres. Let us acknowledge this significant segment of our population whose voices and contributions have too often been sidelined, and how we can collectively challenge perceptions and stereotypes that have perpetuated discrimination and exclusion of persons with disabilities. I take this opportunity on behalf of the disability fraternity to thank FESTAC for including those abled differently to showcase to the world their skills and talents. Ladies and gentlemen, the inclusion agenda is not just a call for acknowledgement, it is a call for collective commitment to ensure that individuals, regardless of their abilities, are given an equal chance not to be observers, but equal participants in everyday life. The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development makes a clarion call to leave no one behind. The Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, which Kenya ratified on the 19th of May 2008, created an obligation upon our country to respect, protect, and fulfill the provisions in the Convention. Pursuant to Article 2 of the Constitution of Kenya, the Convention forms part of the Kenyan law. The Convention and our Constitution reaffirms that all persons with disabilities must enjoy all human rights and fundamental freedoms, and covers rights related to all areas of life, such as equality, accessibility, education, independent living, health, employment, and freedom from violence. Regionally, for the first time, we have an Africa-wide disability-specific instrument that seeks to ensure the rights of those with disabilities are addressed. The protocol complements the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities by addressing the rights of persons with disabilities from an African perspective, considering the lived realities such as harmful practices, beliefs, and superstitions. While we ensure we have legislation and policies in place, let us not forget that the environment remains the greatest barrier to inclusion of persons with disabilities. We must therefore address physical barriers by ensuring accessibility of our built environments where everyone can participate and make information accessible through various formats such as sign language, interpretation, braille materials, etc. Ladies and gentlemen, the National Fund for the Disabled of Kenya plays a critical role in the realization of aspirations of the development goals of other legislations put in for the welfare of PWDs. Established 44 years ago, as a trusteeship under the Perpetual Succession Act, CAP 164, the National Fund for the Disabled of Kenya has a mandate of enhancing social and economic empowerment of persons with disabilities. This is achieved by supporting individual persons with disabilities with assistive technology as enablers to inclusion of economic empowerment through provision of tool sets that enhance their social and economic independence. Additionally, the fund continues to improve the infrastructure and facilitate institutions that caters for learners with disability in order to build capacity and better achieve this population. For the last 15 years, the fund has implemented a flagship project program in all our 47 counties. Anchored on the right to education, the program is aimed at developing infrastructure in institutions of learning to enhance learning experiences, increase enrollment and retention of learners, as well as help them acquire relevant skills. Over 200 schools for learners with disabilities across Kenya have benefited with essential and fully equipped facilities that include dormitories, vocational training, workshops, classrooms, dining facilities, computer labs, among others. In addition, the fund supports over 200 institutions across the country with annual grants towards improving their facilities, renovations, purchase of learning equipment and materials, water sanitation and hygiene programs, therapy equipment, and other assistance that facilitates learning. Cognizant that persons with disabilities are more likely to experience adverse socio-economic outcomes, including low levels of employment and higher poverty rates, the National Fund for the Disabled of Kenya also targets individual persons with disabilities and equips them with relevant tools of trade geared towards their economic empowerment through business startups. These tools of trade are provided at no cost to the beneficiaries. Where possible, and through advocacy, the fund is able to link them with markets to showcase and sell their products. Ladies and gentlemen, as a fund, we have purpose to inspire change through strategic partnerships and essential collaborations. We are ready to work with policymakers, corporates, and communities to build inclusive platforms where every individual with a disability can contribute their voice and vision. We invite you all to interact with us and other sector stakeholders during the events taking place this week, especially the luncheon hosted by the National Fund for the Disabled of Kenya today, and the dinner in the dark hosted tomorrow by the Kenya Society for the Blind, a dinner experience aimed at supporting education for learners with disabilities. Kindly purpose to visit our exhibition booths, where we will learn about inclusion in the arts, culture, and education and technology. Let us pledge to listen, learn, and act in ways that ensure persons with disabilities are not just included, but embraced as an integral part in our society. Together, let us also challenge stereotypes, break down barriers, and foster a culture of understanding, respect, and dignity to persons with disabilities. Let us ensure that no one is left behind. Once again, I thank you for this opportunity to talk about the disability fraternity and showcase their talents and their wares across the country of Kenya. Thank you once again for this opportunity.
My home, my sweet, sweet home, so my pride, that's where my heart belongs. Mokolonge Euro, Mokolonge Wina, Mokolonge Kisumo, Antelunge Dala, Orgamolo Tinga, Dalaganya Yomo.
Very well. Thank you, Daktari, as well. The Bible is very clear that your talent will make you sit before kings. If I was not an MC, how would I have walked down the stairs with Dr. Christina? Let's appreciate her once more. Without much ado, allow me, Your Excellency, to welcome the Deputy Governor, Kisumu County, Dr. Matthew Owili, to guide us in the next bit of the program.
My home, my sweet, sweet home, so my pride, that's where my heart belongs. Mokolonge Euro, Mokolonge Wina, Mokolonge Kisumo, Antelunge Dala, Orgamolo Tinga.
Thank you, Your Excellencies, Baba and Baba. Allow me to ride on the protocol already set, but to recognize in a special way our host governor, Professor Peter Anyang' Nyong'o, who in his own wisdom has brought all this together. Allow me to welcome all of you to Kisumu City and to Kisumu County. Warwako udala, karibuni nyumbani, welcome home. Dala simply means home in our local dialect. I would like at this point to introduce the members of the County Assembly. I recognize the presence of the Speaker, the Honorable Elisha Jakoraro, together with all members of the County Assembly present. Allow me also to introduce members of the County Cabinet. If you are there, kindly be upstanding. Asanteni sana, thank you very much, and especially Beatrice Odongo Wadiaga, the Minister for Culture. Allow me also now to recognize the presence of the area member of Parliament, the Honorable Shakil Shabir. Tumpige makofi. Allow me again to recognize the presence of the Member of Parliament for Kisumu West, the Honorable Rosa Buyu. Tumpige makofi. And the Member of Parliament for the County of Kisumu, the Honorable Ruth Adhiambo Odinga. Now, Kisumu is the third largest city in Kenya, and for the next 3 days or 4, we will be the melting point of the African culture. In Africa, we believe in unity. In Africa, we believe in leaving no one behind. The more reason why today there was great inclusivity, bringing on board those who are living with disability. And in Africa, we will march towards that desired destination as one people. And of course, we will enjoy our culture. Before I invite the governor of the county of Kisumu, allow me to say the following. Our chief guest for today, His Excellency Raila Odinga, has a big dream for Africa. And Your Excellency, Africa is looking forward to your tenure as the African Union chairman. We know that there's a path that you must take to that destination, a walk that you must take from the county of Kisumu we stand with you, and we know that God will lead you to that desired destination, because Africa, ladies and gentlemen, must be great. And now, with those few remarks, I want to invite our vision bearer in the county of Kisumu, the governor, Professor Peter Anyang' Nyong'o. Anajua yeye ni msanii na kuna wimbo anapenda sana. Kwa hivyo kama mnaweka hiyo, alafu sijui, najua mama county atamuescort tena wakuja hapa juu, lakini awekee ile wimbo anapenda, Kanya Kusumu, simply meaning that when you educate a lady, ilo kamano magoka yuoch governor nyago sito
Kego ne ya erei molo wudu ganda nango ya kana wil ga to wonya lunga yorane ya kana wil go kego yora tego wonya lunga uru chichade nyamaro chodo to mulo yora ber mulo nyamaro mulo to gido yora yo achogi wura dio sungu awach ni okego kuon wach nika awach biro wura dio awach opong to chogi yare wura dio chwalwor yara yara okego kuon ye mor mor chogi wonya lunga in kanye isema kodongo ya wajama nade.
I thought you were not coming.
Isema kodongo migele ujama lit wajama nade wajama riek okego neya molu wonya lego baba.com baba young tax agwabo young man for the young boy mano wudu mudo mano wudu word mano min mito moli ngama nade wachukego neya kama lit mungmiriwa Kenya
Haya. Haya. Okay, pole sana. Ladies and gentlemen, let me take this opportunity to officially welcome our guest, President Olusegun Obasanjo, whose host is our Prime Minister, Raila Odinga, whom I will request to speak subsequently in opening today's Africa FESTAC. As you know, FESTAC, as the previous speakers have said, has a long history. And as we are gathered today, here, members of the diplomatic corps, national government officials, county government officials, governors here, and cultural leaders and other distinguished guests. We're really honored to have President Olusegun Obasanjo, who initiated FESTAC many years ago in Nigeria, to have honored us to come here at this particular version of Texas FESTAC that we are giving home to as Kisumu, and we are very grateful for that. But before I go further, I want to give greetings from my daughter, Lupita Mondi Nyong'o, whose message could not be shown, but she's sure that she's with you. And to remind you that a very important play is currently going on at the National Theatre in Nairobi called Sarafina, which is based on the rebellion GNZs in South Africa during apartheid times, and it's something worth seeing.
if you have time. It's a very, very good play. So the big day is finally here, Mr. Prime Minister and President Obasanjo. And I thank you for gracing it. I also salute the FESTAC Executive Committee for choosing this beautiful and culturally vibrant city for FESTAC, along with all the poets, artists, writers, cultural activists, musicians, and many other leaders of culture that have performed here today and will perform this week. They remind us very much of the role that our leading writers performed in promoting African culture in Africa. In East Africa, we cannot forget Okot Pabitek. If he were alive, he would be here today, especially his two very important book-long poetry, Song of the Wind and Song of Achol. We can't forget Taban Loliong, Ngugi wa Thiong'o, Austin Bukenya, which we have here, Okelo Chuli, and the late Michele Mugo, among others. Let us salute them because they have kept African culture alive in books, storybooks, and plays. Kisumu's proximity to neighboring East and Central Africa, the port and the international airport, and the railway station, and robust tourism circuit makes it a very appropriate destination for cultural tourism in our country. In 2022, we became the first intermediary city in Africa to host the Afri-Cities Summit successfully. More than 13,000 delegates came to Kisumu, and we hope this culture, this practice will be continued in the future by our community in Kisumu. We are excited to play host to this Africa's biggest cultural celebration after a hiatus of more than 45 years, during which it almost died. The first event was held in Dakar in 1966, and the second one was a major international festival held in Lagos under the leadership of President Obasanjo here today, from January 1977 to February 12, 1977. The month-long event celebrated African culture and showcased the world African music, fine art, literature, drama, dance, and religion. The event held in Lagos in 1977 was the most successful. It was attended by some of the Africa's highly celebrated musicians and writers, including Fela Kuti, Miriam Makeba, Sun Ra, Wole Soyinka, Stevie Wonder, Onde Lord, Amiri Baraka, and Barclay Hendricks, among others. Following successful comebacks in Zanzibar in 2022 and Arusha 2024, we are happy to be home to FESTAC again. I would like to take this opportunity again to thank His Excellency Olusegun Obasanjo, who together with his colleagues, Abdoulaye Wade of Senegal, Abdulaziz Bouteflika of Algeria, and Thabo Mbeki of South Africa, worked so hard to continue the information on arts and culture in the new Partnership for Africa's Development, which has become a bedrock for planning for Africa's unity and Africa's development. In his popular book, Things Fall Apart, Achebe writes powerfully about cultures and religion, and we remember him for many of his quotes, one of which was referred here today, and I repeat it. When a man invites his kinsmen for a feast, he does not do so to save them from starving. They have all the food they need in their homes. When we gather together in a moonlight village ground, it is not because of the moon. Every man can see it from his own compound. We come together because it is good to do so. Africa must arise. Africa must keep together. Africa must respect and institutionalize its cultural practices so that the younger ones coming up later may not forget them, but find them alive as things that are extremely relevant to their day-to-day life. Because without culture, we are dead. With culture, We are united over our past and our future. I now take this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, if you give me a chance, to invite to the podium our very distinguished President. Oh, sorry. I had forgotten about the entertainment. I wanted to have the entertainment before I invite the President and the Prime Minister. We have some artists who would like to perform before then to break the speaking and to warm up that stage a little with some music that reminds us of our past and our future, and that makes our culture live. Can I have the first one on the stage, please? Yes.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Your Excellency. I'm very much honored to be here this afternoon, and I welcome you all to Kisumu, and it always feels nice to share my music from the lakeside with you guys. So this song is dedicated to one of our beloved cities. You all know the song. This is where it all began. I was a young lady. Sahi nimemea, vitu vimemea kidogo kidogo. But it's always a pleasure to be here. So the song is entitled Kisumu 100. Kisumu, etera dia ba Kisumu, dongo will, nyaka wa miel donge, mbona sioni mukikatika ama hii ni kionjo? Negaido tera winam, yeah. Aido meli tera we got, tokaido tera Kisumu. Kisumu ber Kisumu, etera dia ba Kisumu, Kisumu ber Kisumu, etera dia ba Kisumu, etera dia ne pacho, etera dia ne pacho, etera dia ne dala, Kisumu ber Kisumu, etera dia ne pacho, Kisumu ber Kisumu, etera dia ne dala, legaido tera winam, yeah. Aido meli tera we got, tokaido tera Kisumu, aido meli tera kanye, boda boda swoya kondale, anna dwaro kenda, onge ngama tera, anna dwaro kenda, onge ngama tera. Bini dong jadala, bini dong jatelo, bini dong osiepna, bini dong jaturwa, bini dong jadala, bini dong wadwa miel matinia. Ana jakomo miel. Dong nyaka arwake maber. Orwako welo donge. Bini dong jadala, bini dong jatelo, bini dong osiepna, bini dong jaturwa, bini dong jadala, bini dong jatelo, bini dong osiepna, bini dong. Ay ay tera dia pa Kisumo. Ay ay tera dia pa Kisumo. Dalagi mama yo, dalagi baba yo. Tulo ujo malongo, nungugero Kisumo yai. Ay ay tera dia pa Kisumo. Ay ay tera dia pa Kisumo. Dalagi mama yo, dalagi baba yo. Tulo ujo malongo, nungugero Kisumo yai. Anagomba diane Kisumo, kenda gomba diane Lolwe, Victoria, dalagi mama yo, Victoria, dalagi baba yo. Anagomba diane Kisumo, twendeni tujenge Kisumu, wageni karibu Kisumu. Ni wanapamba pia tupande, ni wanapamba pia tulime, tuvune vizuri. Nega ido tera wina, yeah yeah. Aido meli tera kanye, tera diane Kisumo. Toga ido tera Kisumo, tera diane Kisumo. Anadwaro kenda, onge ngama tera. Anadwaro kenda, onge ngama tera. Omena mit kibuye, yetera diane. Mbuta mit kibuye, yetera diane. Ngege mit manyata yawa, yetera diane. Obambo mit nyawita, yetera diane. Bini dong jadala, bini dong jatelo, bini dong osiepna, bini dong jaturwa, bini dong jadala. Thank you very much.
There is only one Susanna Owio. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Apesi, stage is yours.
FESTAC Africa, one more time for Susanna Owio. One more time for Susanna Owio. Original diva, original diva, original Nile Queen. Right about now, we're bringing on Apesi. 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 Ogunga to the wall.
The only flyover in Cornell, the only virgin in Entebbe, the only mbuta in Obunga. Nataka toa wewe Nyeri, nilete wewe Kisumu. Fire International Airport, the land of Lupita and Obama. Apesi ayo, yelele yaye, siro akemi Kisumu. Eya asitona, the only flyover in Cornell, the only virgin in Entebbe, the only mbuta in Obunga. Nataka toa wewe Nyeri, nilete wewe Kisumu. Fire International Airport, the land of Lupita and Obama. Jambo, jambo siro, jambo siro. Habari yako, nzuri sana. Negwedete siro.
sana.
Tapeleka wewe Lake Victoria, tuendeswe na boti kidogo, ituzunguse hadi hotelwani, wachamgegegiko. Hey ya Obambona, the only fifth in Lake Victoria, the only boy in Ipopo, the only pala in Impalava. Jambo siro, jambo siro, habari yako nzuri sana. Nekwedete siro, jambo siro, eriga siro, habari yako nzuri sana. Listen to this. Hey, yawa hasitona, they only fly over in Kondele, the only virgin in Entebbe, the only buta in Obunga. Nataka toa wewe Homa Bay, nilete wewe Kisumu, via International Airport, the land of Lupita and Obama. Jambo siro, eriga siro, habari yako. Give me something and go. Obunga to the world. Above the name of President Nyamamkari. So when I say Apesi, you say Nyamamkari. Apesi. Yawafiroha will take you to Kiboko Bay, from sunset to sunrise. Usiku tulale kesha hoteli, Apesi. Something nipeleke wewe Kibuye, ni Jumapili ndo chechino, Jumapili ndo chechino. Jambo siro, habari yako nzuri sana. Negwedete siro, jambo siro, eriga siro, habari yako nzuri sana. You know, Luo is not a type. Luo is a lifestyle. Anyone can become a Luo. You only need a software. So, Kisumu is so beautiful. The song talks about the beauty of Kisumu. It talks about unity. Thank you so much. That was my time.
Now we're coming. One more time for Pesim Nyamamkali. Right about now, we're taking another flight out to the west, the land of Baba. We come from the land of Baba to the land of Baba. Afro Jam rock artists, straight from Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria. Give it up for Benny Willis.
Yeah, yeah! Africa, stand up! Big up yourself, Africa. I love you so much. First, maximum respect. The song I'm about to do is called Mama Africa. That is what we're doing right now. We're uniting Africa. To my president, Babao. And to Baba. All right, Mama Africa, DJ, let it roll. Real reggae.
You don't say you love Africa, pull up your face in the air like this.
True talk.
Africa nice and sweet. And Benny Willis says so. You don't know.
Have mercy, Lord, upon Africa. Oh, Mama Africa. Have mercy, Lord, upon Africa. Have mercy, Lord, upon Africa. Oh, Mama Africa. Have mercy, Lord, upon Africa. I want Africa. I want Africa. nation, showing you what I've done. Have mercy, Lord, upon Africa. Oh, Mama Africa. Have mercy, Lord, upon Africa. Have mercy, Lord, upon Africa. Oh, Mama Africa. Have mercy, Lord, upon Africa. Are you in Africa? I'm in Africa. Mama Africa. Wait a minute, what we popping on the air? What somebody tell them making on the air? We getting money, so we holler every day. I like forgive and go one straight. I make Africa say you're freaking out the back closet. But you know what I don't care. Nobody got this project. Africa on it. I'm preaching up about one leg. I hold it to me. What's slipping up about Africa, you know, okay. God of any willis on Africa. God me bless your name, cause we are fearful limit. My God, you love me, but incredible, me know that full world. The desperation of the devil cannot be world me down. God, you hope your man shall last every flip on the ground. No information in my nation, I'm making the brother to go low. I'm citizen of Africa, me tell you so. Why your name, Almighty God, God of any willis on Africa. Me say me bless your name, come here, fearful limit. You love it, but incredible, you know that full world. Have mercy, Lord, upon Africa. Oh, Mama Africa. Have mercy, Lord, upon Africa. Have mercy, Lord, upon Africa. Oh, Mama Africa. Have mercy, Lord, upon Africa. Are you in Africa?
Thank you, people. Big up ourselves. One Africa. Yeah, one more time. Let's hear it for Bernie Willis, straight from Lagos. FESTAC Africa. Africa is diverse. It's the origin of all music. We're starting from the root to the fruit. Right about now, I have the legendary band. This band has been a soundtrack of our parents' lives. This band that you see on stage here, every song tells a story. This band that you see on stage here is a legendary band from East African music. East African music will not be there without this band that you see on this FESTAC stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Kisumu County, FESTAC Africa. As this band gets ready, this is Les Wanyika. I just want to call them Les Wanyika. I want to add legendary Les Wanyika. One more time, let me hear it for Les Wanyika. When I say less, you say what? Less. 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 Oh yes. Cheza na Le Wanyika. 1 2 1 2. Soundman. Original Le Wanyika. Yes. Adoyo.
This is the legend Les Wanyika live on the stage. Amoso uduto. Amoso ukendo. Mailungo ni Les Wanyika. It was started in 1978. Up to date, we are still keeping it strong. Tokungewe ende megeles Wanyika achiel kuomigi. Nensina makosa. Gamigo. Tokawuono adwa miyo. Joka Jonam. Untie. Wahero Waenya. Let's go. This is legend. Let's Wanyika life on the stage.
This is Les Wanyika, legendary, East Africa's finest, legendary catalog. When you talk about a legendary catalog, this is the definition of that.
Check 1 2. Yes. Okay. Check. Amigo. So.
Tabia zako zimesha kuponza mke na watoto wamekimbia. Tulikukanya chunga heshima yako, mke na watoto wako nyumbani, ndio hazina ya maisha yako. Amigo, wakati tunakupa ushauri, uliona sisi watu fitina, twaingilia mambo yako ya ndani, na kwamba tukwache kama ulivyo, sababu wewe bingwa wa maisha. Amigo, thamani ya mke ni mavazi, kula vizuri, kulala vizuri, ndiyo siri ya kudumisha ndoa, naishi kwa raha. Amigo, watoto wako wapeleke shule kwa manufaa yao ya baadaye. Elimu ndiyo zawadi muhimu kwa watoto wako. Amigo, badala yake mambo yote hayo kwa mkeo imekuwa ni ndoto, maisha yake ya kubahatisha na kazi unafanya. Amigo, yamechoka mwisho kakimbia, umebaki kulaumu wenzio, lawama zako hazina msingi, bembeleza mke wakurudie. Amigo, amigo. Kula vizuri, kulala vizuri, ndiyo siri ya kudumisha ndoa, kaishi kwa raha. Amigo, watoto wako wapeleke shule kwa manufaa yao ya baadaye. Elimu ndiyo zawadi muhimu kwa watoto wako. Amigo, badala yake mambo yote hayo kwa mkeo imekuwa ni ndoto, maisha yake ya kubahatisha na kazi unafanya. Amigo, yamechoka mwisho kakimbia, umebaki kulaumu wenzio, lawama zako hazina msingi, bembeleza mke wakurudie. Jirani na rafiki tulisha kukanya sana. Amigo, heshimu mke na watoto wako, heshimu baba na mama nyumbani, na wakwe zako wape heshima, shemeji zako pia waheshimu, tukawa sisi wabaya kwako, ushauri wetu hauna maana, tukwache kama ulivyo. Amigo, sababu wewe ni bingwa wa maisha.
rafiki tulishakukanya sana amigo. Heshimu mke na watoto wako, heshimu baba na mama nyumbani, na wakwe zako wape heshima, shemeji zako pia waheshimu. Tukawa sisi wabaya kwako, shauri wetu hauna maana, tupote kama ulivyo amigo, sababu wewe ni bingwa maisha, mahari umeshalipa amigo. Leo una habari naye, na leo yamekufika mambo, ubingwa wako na mpe amekukimbia Majirani na rafiki tulishakukanya sana amigo. Heshimu mke na watoto wako, heshimu baba na mama nyumbani, na wakwe zako wape heshima, shemeji zako pia waheshimu. Tukawa sisi wabaya kwako, shauri wetu hauna maana, tukwache kama ulivyo amigo, sababu wewe ni bingwa wa maisha, mahari umeshalipa amigo. Leo una habari naye, na leo amekukimbia amigo. bure Bwana, wataka kuniua bure Baba, wataka kuniua bure Baba. Wewe una wako nyumbani na mimi na wangu Odunga, chukia nini kati yangu mimi na wewe? Chukia nini kati yangu mimi na wewe? Nasema
sina makosa wewe Bwana, sina makosa wewe Bwana,
ayo
sina makosa wewe Bwana, sina makosa wewe Bwana.
Remember, that's the Les Wanyika. It was started in 1978, up to date. We are still keeping it strong. We love you so much. Kamuntie wahero waenya.
Wow.
Wahero twagenu sana.
Just a quick question. Do you want one more? Do you want one more right now?
FESTAC, do you want one more or two more?
I think in the interest of time, we'll allow the good governor of Kisumu, Professor Peter Nyang'nyong'o, to proceed. But Les Wanyika have promised us they are right here until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. So there is lots where that came from. Let's appreciate Les Wanyika, Your Excellency, kindly. And let's appreciate the good governor as he comes along.
Thank you very much. I had come here early, but I was ruled out of order by Les Wanyika. I think there were Gen Zs behind here plotting against me. But anyway, I think it was just for the better that we have had Les Wanyika after such a long time. Les Wanyika, remember your days in Starlight, in Pan-Afrique, and all those. Please come back to Kisumu also, visit us more frequently. I'd like to welcome here now, and please welcome to Kisumu my fellow governors. Governor James Orengo of Siaya, who is sitting over there, Makofi kwa Jim. Governor Simba Arati from Kisii. And there's always the last, the sweetest music, Governor Gladys Wanga from Homa Bay. And greetings from Governor Ochila Yako in Migori, who could not make it, but he's with here in soul and spirit. It is now my time, really. I don't want to say more than I had said, but I want to take this opportunity to thank the organizers of FESTAC. My dear friend, the chairman, Yinka, and your team for the good work that you have done. I want to thank my ministers and members of the county government and the assembly who have been very, very supportive, and all the workers in Kisumu County for this great work. I want to thank the artists. You saw our very own Sultan Owiyo singing here just now, and there are many more who could have come, but we shall continue the whole week with music, art and culture. And so keep on coming up to Friday. There is no day that will be lost for you to miss the wonderful music you have here today. I'd also like to thank very sincerely those of us who are not here but who could have been here. And I'm sure they're listening to me somewhere. But they will continue during the week. And please do come, because the success of FESTAC is your success. Those visitors who have come today, please continue coming and encourage the others to come. Let me therefore take this rare opportunity to invite to the stage my dear friend, Dr. Olusegun Obasanjo, who has for a long time been the bedrock of Pan-Africanism, together with his co-president, the created NEPAD, and FESTAC is part and parcel of the cultural renaissance that they envisaged in NEPAD. Mr. President, you are always welcome to Kisumu. As Raila reminded us today, earlier on, that when you last were here in Kisumu, not really last, but the most memorable opportunity was when you went to the Museum Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, and you made sure that you drank uji at our market in Kisumu. That picture still stands as a historical point in the standard nation, and the standard and nation of that day. Mr. President, feel welcome to address your people.
Governor, thank you very, very much. My dear brother, Prime Minister Raila Odinga, come on the stage with me. You brought me here, and you cannot leave me alone. Your Excellency, the Governor of Kisumu County, and the First Lady of Kisumu County, Your Excellency, the other governors that are here, if I try to go in any order of protocol, I will get lost. So let me say or use something that we have manufactured in Nigeria. We say, all protocol observed. up here to express appreciation and thanks. First, to the governor of Kisumu County for making this FESTAC to take place here and for contributing to what I call, and I think you can call it, a renaissance, a rebirth of FESTAC. But for me, I have a little bit of emotion because, as you heard, we had FESTAC, the first one in Senegal, in 1966. And for 11 years, there was no other one. Nigeria accepted to stage one in 1975. And we were preparing for it. Then there was a change of government. And some people said we should cancel it. And I said, we will not cancel it. We will host it. And we hosted it. And we brought black people from all over the world. Papua New Guinea, Australia, American natives. They all converged in Nigeria. And we had a very, very successful FESTAC, 77. Since then, it seemed maybe because we left it entirely in the hands of governments, we don't seem to be going anywhere. And at this juncture, I will want to commend and thank Yinka for your effort, for your tenacity, and for making FESTAC to come alive again in my own lifetime. And one of your friends that you call up said to us, and rightly, that Africa has no reason to be poor. That we are poor is not an act of God. That we are poor, or if you like, potentially poor, because we are not potentially without resources. That we are at this moment poor is because of poor mentality, if I may put it that way. And we have to wake up our ideas. What don't we have? When you go back into history, energy that others needed to make them wealthy. That energy was taken for 4 centuries through slave trade and slavery. We were carted away to the so-called New World using the energy of our forefathers to make others rich and to impoverish us. And that hasn't stopped. Slave trade and slavery gave birth to colonialism. Again, resources and energy of Africa being shipped out to make others rich while we remain poor. And it hasn't stopped. We wake up and they say something structural adjustment. That was the idea of the World Bank. And then I said, what are we adjusting? We have no structure. And you say structural adjustment. You are deceiving us. You are cutting away our resources and continue to make us poor. And I was saying, for those of you who do not know, I was put in jail because in 1994, is it that I came here? 1995, I came for Jaramogi. I think it's the final first anniversary of the burial of a man I revered very much, and the opening of the Mausoleum. And I was invited by this young man. And I came. And I went back to Nigeria. And I got back to Nigeria and I was arrested. I was given 2 charges. One was that I have come to Kenya to collude with the opposition to bring the government of Kenya down. And second, that I was planning coup in Nigeria itself. So I was sentenced to 30 years imprisonment. And thanks to a friend like Prime Minister Raila, who contributed to my going to prison. When I came out of prison, another thing that I found was something they call globalization. After I've stayed in prison for 3.5 years almost. And I said, what is this globalization? And then I studied it. It means open your door, open your house, let me take whatever I can take out of your house, and then I close my door and my house to you. That's globalization. And that was sold to us. And again, we lap it up. When are we going to stop accepting these received ideas that will not work for us? We have to. And the old African adage says if you want to go far, you work together. If you want to go fast, you work alone. In our case, we want to go fast and go far. So how do we do it? We have to work alone and together, so that we do not work in silos. If we work in silos, we will be destroyed piecemeal. We have to work together. And I saw what you could get when we hosted FESTAC 77 in 1977. People from Papua New Guinea came to give us their problem. Those in Australia came to give us their problem. The black people who are oppressed, who are marginalized, who are exploited, and all of us, of course, who are being exploited, came together. And that has not stopped. And I believe that it will not stop until we get our acts together. And the renaissance of FESTAC is part of the way of getting our act together. Unless the AU, as our continental organization, does what it should do and make Africa continental free trade agreement a great success, we are not going to get there. AU itself needs reform. How can you have a continental organization that has program, and after it has made program, is waiting for European Union to bring money out? Not too long ago, I was appointed, and I think I'm still AU high-level representative in the Horn of Africa. I am still. When I was appointed, AU has no money to make me perform. We were waiting for European Union. We were waiting for America. We were waiting for Germany to give us money. And how much is the money? Because of my connection with Africa Development Bank, I called the president of Africa Development Bank. I said, I have this responsibility. I have this job. What can you do? He made money available. And that was why we were able to achieve what we were able to achieve for Ethiopia. How long will we go in that sort of way for? And how much money did he make available? $500,000. That was what was required. And AU could not make it available. So we now, as the deputy governor, as the deputy governor said, we need a man or a woman, a person who will understand the problem of Africa and what role AU has to play. And I believe that we have that man in Prime Minister Raila Odinga. He understands the problem of Africa because he and I have worked on that problem before. And as the governor of Kisumu County said, we work together and brought about NEPAD. The governor and I went to Singapore. I think it was 1994. Governor. And our host then was Lee Kuan Yew, a good friend of mine. For 2 days, Lee Kuan Yew sat with us. This was before he wrote his book, From Third World to First World. And we want to know the magic. We were all there, about 40 of us. And after 2 days, he said to us, there's no magic. We in Singapore did a few things right, and we continue to do them right. In our individual countries in Africa, and collectively as a continent, what are we doing right? And if we know what we are doing right, do we continue to do them right? If I may give an example of many countries, including my own, we take 2 steps forward, 1 step aside, and maybe 1, 2, or 3 steps backward. That cannot be progress. And that cannot get us there. And the truth is this: unless we are able to get there, we will not get the respect of the world that we deserve. We will not get appreciation of the world that we deserve. We've talked enough about poverty. Me, I don't talk about poverty now. I talk of wealth creation. Poverty alleviation, anybody who wants to alleviate poverty, let him go on. Me, I want to see wealth being created. And we can create wealth. We have everything to create wealth on the continent of Africa. Nobody will do it for us. We have to do it for ourselves. And if we don't do it for ourselves, we are all sitting on a keg of gunpowder. Our youth are restive. Our youth are unhappy. Our youth are dissatisfied. Our youth are bitter. They are angry. They are unemployed. And when we want to say something, we say, well, we have, 2063. As one of them said to me, now 2063 may be all right, but by 2063, you, he was pointing to me, you will be dead. If I remain as I am now, poor, I will be dead. I cannot wait till 2063. I want something now. And they're right. They want something now. And if we don't give it to them, we will be in trouble. We have to give it to them. And we can give it to them. It is within our ability to give it to them. What has changed between 1977 and today? A bit has changed. In 1977, Namibia was not independent. In 1977, apartheid was reigning. In 1977, Angola and Mozambique were torturing. They are not really family on their own. In 1977, Zimbabwe was not independent. But all these countries are independent today. So if by 1994 we've got rid of apartheid, we've got rid of colonialism in Africa, we have got Africa politically liberated. Today, Africa is not economically liberated. And that's why we need a man like my brother, once again, to lead the African Union and give us that reform, that leadership of the continental organization that will liberate us in Africa economically. And that is our duty. For me, as long as I'm alive, I will continue to contribute to that obligation, that duty, and that responsibility. And my brother, when he gets there, not if, when he gets there, you will do what you have to do to liberate Africa economically. And I wish you the best of luck.
The emperor, the conqueror, the champion, the lion is here.
Wow. Wow. Hello. Hello. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to join me in applauding General Baba Olusegun Obasanjo. Thank you so much, my dear brother. His Excellency, the Governor of the great county of Kisumu, and the First Lady of Kisumu, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen,
all protocols observed. Hamjambo. I am very delighted to have an opportunity to talk to you today. But my speech has already been made by the general. And the other chief guests, Dr. Fazam Kamalabadi, they have spoken for me. May you stand up, Dr. Kamalabadi, to be. You made my day today. I don't have much to add. But today we are in FESTAC, we are opening FESTAC. It's a festive occasion. And therefore, we are in the great city of Kisumu. Kisumu hoye! Kisumu hoye! Kisumu, Kisumu, Dalawa, Kisumu, Kisumu, Dalawa, Kisumu, Dalawa, Kisumu, Kisumu, Dalawa, Kisumu, Kisumu, Dalawa, Kisumu, Kisumu, Dalawa, Kisumu, Dalawa, Kisumu, Kisumu, Dalawa. Nyanza hoye! Kenya hoye! Africa hoye! Africa ka kanindo tieno katingo wiya tuganene wanga maya tugama kamino njela makupoga godo dipoka kethu dinda. Africa hoye! Africa hoye! It is a great pleasure. Africa, good morning. Bonjour, bonjour, l'Afrique. It is a great pleasure to join so many Africans from across the continent and the world to celebrate Africa and its culture. We welcome those from different parts of the world who have made time to be here and to see how it was and how it is at the cradle of humankind as we celebrate our culture. We are all at home. It has been proven scientifically that the first humanoid species was here in this part of the world. And that's why anybody who comes here is welcome back home. I wish to take this opportunity to congratulate the city of Kisumu for bringing this great event home. I equally thank the organizers for staging a show that is designed to leave a mark. Indeed, Africa is coming of age. We are here to celebrate African culture as expressed in food, music, stories, dances, business, fashion, and sports, among others. This meeting is very much in line with aspiration number 5, the Agenda 2063 of the African Union, which envisages an Africa with a strong cultural identity, a common heritage, shared values and ethics, and focused on Pan-Africanism. The aspirations number 5 commit to tap Africa's rich heritage and culture to ensure that the creative arts are major contributors to the continent's growth and transformation. We have to admit that as a continent, we have not invested enough in creative industries, and we have not used the industry as we should to unite our people and integrate the continent. At events like this, we affirm what we often take for granted or even doubt, that Africans are one people. There's nothing you're going to find here in Kenya that looks very different and unimaginable to a person from Senegal, Zambia, or Egypt. In a way, we are unique when it comes to culture. When you go to Asia, there are many different kinds of Eastern culture. You meet the Indian, the Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Vietnamese, and so on. You go to Western culture, you meet equally many different cultures. German, English, French, American. But when it comes to Africa, there's a strong sense of uniformity. Wherever Africans are, however removed from the motherland, they all tend to put the family as the main reference for the individual. And they all tend to agree that society or community is more important than the individual. We all distill our lessons and transmit our experiences. We agree that distilled knowledge is beneficial for our societies to succeeding generations. May these traditions never die among the African people. May they unite and not divide us. It is, however, a painful contradiction and a matter of great concern that despite the near uniformity in our beliefs and traditions, Africa is more divided than these societies with multiple cultures. You have never harnessed our music, food, stories, and family connections to deliberately pursue unity and advance our cause as a people. The Congolese music is enjoyed across the entire continent, just like the music from Cameroon, Nigeria, Tanzania. Ethiopian, Somalian, Nigerian dishes are getting enjoyed across the continent. But that is where it ends. Good food, good music, and nothing more. You have never deployed these tools for oneness. They're clinging hard to borders and boundaries that were set up by colonialists and define things that should unite us by countries of origin. It is a pity that 60 years since most of our countries attained independence, we are still divided and proud to be divided with the languages of our colonial masters. That is, Anglophones, Francophones, and Lusophones. At a time, the owners of those colonial languages are forging a united Europe. There is no Anglophone or Francophone in Europe, but there is Anglophone and Francophone here in Africa. What a pity. Africa has to change. Escalated unity is the way to go. The cultural ties that bind us is a great starting point on the path to unity. For historical reasons, Europe is our closest associate around the world. We are not going to engage meaningfully with a unified region when we act as a host of tiny individual nations. Integration is an idea whose time has come. Now, I keep on saying all the times that we need Africa developed by Africans. But we have got two categories of Africans. They are Afro-optimists and Afro-pessimists. Afro-pessimists are those who have given hope on Africa. They say that Africa is a lost cause. And they talk about what has been visited upon Africa by our colonial masters. Afro-optimists, on the other hand, are those people who believe in the ability of the African people to develop Africa. These are the people who believe in Pan-Africanism ideology. Africa is the richest continent on planet Earth in terms of resources. It is a paradox that the richest is also the poorest when it comes to living conditions is the people. This, the paradox, was we must resolve. We cannot continue all the time to live in our colonial past and blame colonial masters. We should also not allow ourselves to be put in the bondage of other international institutions which were formed without African participation, which have continued to misguide development of the continent. We must take the development of the continent in the hands of our own people and move forward. This is what is required to be able to use all the materials that we have here for the benefit of our people. And this is possible. It is possible to turn what we have into wealth and therefore create a conducive environment for development in the country, in the continent. It's a pity that today African youth drown in the Mediterranean on their way to greener pastures in Europe. This is a trend that we need to arrest by creating enabling environment on the continent, by creating opportunities for employment right here in the African continent. That way we'll be able to save our people, to salvage our people. We need to look ourselves as Africans and Africa for Africans. This is the reason why I've accepted the challenge by my friend, long-term friend, General Oga Papa Olusegun Obasanjo. Papa has also been a mentor to us. He's told you how we met. Papa used to run an institution called African Leadership Forum. In that forum, he was training young African leaders to try to impart on them experience. He took me and the governor of Kisumu to his village town of Ota, next to Lagos. And there brought us together with the retired president of Africa, President Kenneth Kaunda, President Tumani Toure of Mali, President Buyoya of Burundi, who are giving us experience of challenges in leadership. So we were well taught. It took us again to other places. As you can see, it took Anyang to Singapore to go and see the Singaporean experience. As a result of that, when I was a prime minister, I took my ministers to Singapore and I told them this is going to be the last time anybody in leadership in Kenya is going to come to Singapore. We want to go back to Kenya and do what these people have done in their country. And we came back, and in that grand coalition government, we do something in this country that has never been done before. And today it is accepted that the grand coalition government was the government, the best government that Kenyans have seen since independence. So we believe it can also be done on the African continent. Africa, as you know, cannot move forward when it cannot even trade with itself. As we are speaking today, the intra-African trade stands at 15%. Inter-European trade stands at 70%. Intra-Asian trade stands at 60%. Even South America, 35%. Africa, only 15%. What are the impediments? The impediments are: one, non-tariff barriers imposed by different countries on the continent. Secondly, lack of infrastructure in the continent, making it very difficult for goods to move from one country to the other country. And that is why I said We need to take this animal called infrastructure head on. The Trans-African highways, the Trans-African high-speed network, the open skies in the continent, and so on. As things stand today, to travel within the African continent by air is a problem. They are taxing you to fly over air, open air. And you must get a license to fly over one country to the other country. They don't do that in Europe anymore. And to travel in Africa, you need so many visas. My friend, and our friend with General Aliko Dangote, one of the biggest African entrepreneurs, says that for him to travel across the continent, he needs 35 visas. His French counterpart, who's a business like himself, does not need a visa because he's having a French passport. With a French passport, you don't need a visa to travel across Africa. With a Nigerian passport, you need 35 visas to travel across the continent. What a shame. So we are going to introduce African Union visas that can enable you to travel across the whole continent without requiring to have any visas at all. It will make it easier for people to travel, to trade within the continent of Africa. We will also open borders so that goods can move freely. We will work towards construction of the African high-speed railway network with African road networks. We will also address the issue of energy. Energy is a major impediment to development in the continent. Yes, Africa has got abundance of energy sources. Hydro, solar, wind, geothermal, you name it. It's all available on the African continent. Yet energy is very expensive. We will make it cheap and accessible to the majority of our people. We will also ensure that we will tackle the issue of climate change. Africa is a victim when it comes to the issue of climate change. Africa only emits less than 5% of greenhouse gases. But Africa suffers the consequences of climate change. Many African countries today live between twin disasters, floods and drought. We need to find ways of dealing with this. But Africa also needs to be compensated by the offenders. To negotiate as individual countries, you will get nowhere. But when we negotiate as Africa, we'll be able to get adequate compensation for the destruction of the environment. Africa is also home to the second biggest carbon sink in the world. How does Africa get compensated? And how do we also regreen Africa? Those are challenges that we must face. So I want to end my conversation today by telling you the story of the African lion. Africa, the home of the lion. In Nigeria, you have got the eagle. In Cameroon, they have got the indomitable lion. In Senegal, they have the land of Teranga. In Morocco, they have got the Atlas lions. In Kenya, you've got the Kenyan Simba. So they say the lion is the king of the jungle. So when the king of the jungle roars, all the other animals crouch. The African lion is sending a message which was said earlier on by my friend. This message is to the Asian tiger. The African lion is saying, to the Asian tiger. You have danced alone on the stage for far too long. It is time that you quit the stage. The European bear retreated a long time ago to the polars and is freezing there in the North Pole. The American panther is also on the retreat. I'm the African lion. I have been asleep in the jungles of the Congo. But now I'm awake, surrounded by the mighty Congo River, the mighty Nile, the Niger, the Gambia, the Limpopo, the Zambezi. I'm bound on the east by the peaks of Mount Kilimanjaro and Mount Kenya, to the west by Atlas Mountains, and I'm sitting on African gold, African bauxite, African iron and copper ore, African diamonds, African oil, African lithium, African coltan, African uranium. And I intend to transform all these raw materials into wealth for my people and make the 21st century truly an African century. Message from African lion to the Asian tiger. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Your Excellency. May we accord His Excellency Dr. Odinga a standing ovation and a massive round of applause for those words of wisdom, gems indeed. And Your Excellency, we are privileged to be part of this audience. As we remain standing, we shall have the national anthem of the Republic of Kenya, which shall signify the official close of our engagement this afternoon. Now, if you are facing the stage, then the rest of us can follow. Protocol officers, kindly lead our dignitaries as they proceed. For the rest of us, there's a lot more from the FESTAC team right here. Please enjoy the rest of your stay. Jabali.
All right, thank you very much. FESTAC programming continues. And we're going to start with the Uganda group.